Hello, everyone. I'm Jonathan Lyons, and this is the Iverson Options Trading Forum trading strategy course. All right. So today I'm just going to talk about, kind of how I go through deciding, which trades I'm going to make each day. And so let's get right into it. It should be quick and also informative. All right. So first thing you want to know is that the market opens every day at 9:30 in the morning. So if you're going to place a trade, you want to be up before then most of the time. Going ahead, taking a look at your watch lists and taking a look at what the overall market is doing. So to help you to find out what the market is doing, you want to go take a look at the gauges. All right, you want to take a look at the indexes and see what the broader market's doing. So one of the first things that I do is that I get up, I run over here to barchart.com and stock market overview. And then this is going to pull the indexes up for you right here. This shows you, um, what the greater market is doing. So we see the Dow went up 464 points today. S&P is up. NASDAQ is down. The market's closed at this time, but when you go there in the morning, you'll see the pre-market. You'll see this, but it'll be pre-market information, and that helps you kind of determine, which way the market is going to be going that day. All right. And for me, it's like a little rule of thumb. If I see that the market is green or red, the Dow, that is, since this is the largest index, if I see that the Dow is green or red, let's say like 250 or more, then I kind of have a lot of confidence that it's going to stay in that direction. So, if I'm going to make a trade in that day, then I probably want to make a trade that's in that direction, whether that's a put or whether that's a call. All right. So I check that out. And then, I probably want to take a look at what's going on in the news for that day, because the news is going to affect the market for that day. So one of the great tools that you can use is 10 things you need to know before the opening bell. This is on Business Insider. You can also just type this phrase, 10 things you need to know before the opening bell, into Google, and this will pull up some different websites like NBC and Yahoo Finance. And then you just go check them out. You just go see what's going on for the day. You see that stock futures are mixed. You see, what's going on with tech. Tech is having a rough time this week because of these bonds and stuff, and it's just weighing on tech heavily. GameStop still going on that, crazy, just unfounded run. And yeah. So you go down and you take a look at all of these different things over here, and you see what's going on in the market to help you kind of determine, which way things are going, see if there are any particular stocks that are being highlighted that maybe you want to pay some attention to. Maybe you want to throw some of these on your watch list. So there's that. All right. So you make that determination that way. Speaking of stocks that you may want to take a look at, that you might want to add to your watch list, you go over here to pre-market movers, and you can just type this phrase into Google, pre-market movers, and then you'll get a wealth of information about different stocks that are growing in the pre-market, or losing in the pre-market. I like Market Chameleon a lot. It's a great tool. I'll go on Market Chameleon. They're gonna give you the rundown, lots of different stocks broken down here for you in a great way. So this is the pre-market activity for today. And so it talks about the most active based on volume. So volume is, trades that are being made. So this lets you know who's people are paying attention to, the big the big guys are paying attention to, and also the little guys, obviously. But for you to have this type of volume, there's got to be some big guys in there too. So you got that. Then you go over here, you look at the gainers. This breaks it down for you in terms of price change. So see who grew the most in terms of price, percentage, blah, blah, blah. Same thing here with the decliners, if you're thinking of going on the puts for that day. So just show you all the stocks that you need or that you may need to add to your watch list when you're making that decision to go ahead and make a trade. All right, so we're taking a look at all of these things. Now let's talk about that watch list that I keep mentioning. So when you have your stock charts account, stock charts is where you want to add these stocks to your watch list. And when you do that, then you can, you come over here and take a look at the charts. And that's how you make the determination as to whether or not you want to go ahead and get into the trade or not. Okay, so this is your chart list down here. And it's pretty easy to just add to your watch list. So let's see. So let me go back real quick. I want to show y'all how to add stuff to the watch list. First one, the chart list. Okay, so you would want the chart list, and here is this one that I had here, which was the default one, and it has MasterCard as the one I got on here. But then if you want to add more, just go to edit list, and if you want to add one, then they tell you how to do that. If you want to add many, they tell you how to do that. I think many is probably the easiest one. You type them in, separate them by a comma, they add them to the chart for you, and boom, there you go. Now they're in there for you to look at when you need to and determine if you want to make those trades. So those are your ways of adding to your watch list for different stocks. Okay, so looking at the pre-market information is one way of doing it. The other way that I was just going to get into is this 52-week high list. Okay, I like looking at the 52-week highs because the 52-week high list represents stocks that have a lot of momentum behind them. Obviously, people are looking at them, and despite and this is probably this probably sounds contrary to popular opinion, but when it comes to this 52-week high list, despite the fact that these stocks are at their highs, the 52-week high is the highest point that a stock has made over the past year. So despite the fact that these stocks are at the top, there's like a theory of based around momentum behind that, where these stocks continue to move up. So, if you're a conservative trader, you may want to see that these stocks are moving up and wait until they kind of draw back some until you get in. And then if you're, a more, if you can accept more risk as a trader, then maybe you want to hop in a little sooner, especially if you see things like a Bollinger squeeze that have happened recently that kind of let you know that this stock is going to make that run. So you got this 52-week high, and this is on bar charts. Just go to new highs and lows, and it pulls it up for you. You can also see stocks that are making 52 lows if you're looking for a put trade. All right, so there you go. All right, another place where you can and before I move on to the next thing, let me also say that bar chart gives great opinions on stocks. That's why I like this website a lot. If you like, for example, type in stock here like MasterCard, um, bar chart to give you their technical opinion. Right now, this stock has 100% buy, so there's a lot of bullish, you know, belief behind it, at least from bar chart's opinion, and that opinion is based on some different technical factors and like research from different groups of people that they're in cahoots with, and you can research that on your own. If you feel confident in bar chart, I would suggest using them. I use them. I trust their opinion on a lot of these stocks. If I see that a stock is a really strong buy in bar chart's opinion, then that helps me to feel a lot more confident if I'm going to make a call. And if I see it in the other direction, that helps me to feel really confident if I want to make a put. So there are a lot of benefits to this site. All right. So great website, bar chart. All right. It's free. All right. So there's another way to add stocks to your watch list. So now we've got pre-market action. We've got 52-week highs. And then another thing that I like to do, I'll get up to Google, is type in, I go to Yahoo Finance, and check out their top searched stocks. Okay. And it gives you can subscribe to this, you can follow this, and then each day they'll give you, about 30 stocks that have been the most searched for that particular day. And so that's how you can um, find out what everybody is looking at, and if these stocks is part of the top 30, then, there's a good chance that there's something going on with them, you know, um, and, there's lots of people who are watching it. So you may want to join in, there's something going on with that if everybody is paying so much attention to it. So those are 3 ways that you can add to your watch list. Okay. So the strategy is then to wake in the morning, let's say about, an hour or 2 before the market opens. Again, the market opens at 9:30. You go, you take a look at what the broader markets are doing, what the gauges look like. It's going to be a green day. It's going to be a red day. All right. And then you go take a look at the pre-market. You go take a look at the 52-week highs. You go and take a look at the most watched stocks by Yahoo, and you intertwine that information with the information that you've already gathered on, how the day is going to be going based on the news and based on the gauges. And then you pick a few of those stocks out. So now you've selected those stocks, you throw them on your watch list, you go over to stockcharts.com and you take a look and see if you find those patterns and that confluence that you need in order to give yourself confidence to make the trade. And if you do, then you make the trade. And when you make the trade, you go into the trade knowing here are some rules about the actual trade. We almost never lose all of our money on any trade that we accept. Okay. If you lose up to 50% on a trade, then I would say go ahead and get out of the trade. All right. Obviously, the timing on that trade wasn't in your favor, and that's okay. You're going to win more often than you're going to lose, and you're going to make lots of money. But losing is just a part of trading, so that's totally fine. It's best to get out of it early than late. But for me, 50% is my stop loss. That's when I'm like, all right, it's a wrap. I'm out. All right. So that's what I would take into the trade if I were you. On the flip side of that, a good winning percentage to me, like a time when I'm thinking, okay, I'm ready to go ahead and get out this trade, is once I've made like about 20 to 30% back of my initial investment. Okay. And that to me is like a base hit. I call that a base hit. And I get a few base hits, and then I get home runs where I get back 50% of my initial investment, 100%. You know, that typically happens with riskier trades where I get back 50 and 100%. And typically that happens when I have less less time in the trade, when I don't have as much time till the expiration. Okay. But I do make trades like that, but that's when I'm extremely confident. Everything has to be lining up perfectly. I've got to be feeling like, yeah, this is going to happen based on all of these things lining up for me in order for me to do that. But on average, I typically trade about 2 months out. Okay. Because in the last 30 days of the trade, let me explain to you that the trade is going to begin to lose its value much faster. So I give myself like 60 days out. That gives me like 30 days where it's moving at a pace that I feel comfortable with. All right. But for those more risky trades, maybe sometimes I do, a month or 6 weeks out, you know, and again, that does increase the return, but it also increases the risk. All right. So I know that when I'm going into the trade, I make my trade, I wait for that to happen, the 20 to 30%, the 50% loss, whichever happens, and then I close my trade and I make my money. All right, so that is the lesson for today. If anybody has any questions about any thing, please contact me, and I hope that this was informative. Again, those websites, stockcharts.com. If you're looking for pre-market stuff, that's Market Chameleon. If you're looking for information on stocks, like 52-week highs, 52-week lows, technical opinions on the stock, that's bar charts. You're looking for stocks that are heavily watched right now by the community, that's Yahoo Finance. And if you're looking for news in the morning, you have Business Insider, 10 things you need to know before the opening bell. CNBC also has 5 things you need to know before the opening bell. Of course, there's also, TV shows like Bloomberg. You're probably watching that in the morning if you're going to be a trader as well. All right, guys. So I thank you so much for your time, and I hope to hear from you soon. Happy trading. And I have a new video for you on